Hey everyone, welcome back to my show. This is episode 5 of Have You Ever? Let's get into it. Alright, so have you ever been online and just seen an article that really piqued your interest because it's so bizarre? Here's my story. I've been sick the past week and a half, probably with COVID. We're still waiting for my results to come back. My mother had COVID, my brother had COVID. So I'm assuming I had COVID. I had a lot of free time. Although I've been having a lot of free time anyway, but anyway, I'm scrolling through and I come across this article. And it goes like this. 90-Day Fiancé star has medical emergency after farting in jars too much for side business. What? Now, I think there's a few things wrong with this, so I just want to address it real quick. 90-Day Fiancé. Why is there... How can you marry someone in 90 days? How can you... It's just... Okay, so that. And then her side business is farting in jars. I guess people are into that. But let's read on. 90-Day Fiancé stars, plural, often have side hustles for additional income beyond their paychecks from the franchise. Stephanie's latest successful venture was a bit stranger than most. She began selling her own farts in jars weeks ago and allegedly turned a considerable profit. Unfortunately for her, she's had to leave the fart smelling game following a medical scare. Now, how much more interesting can this story get, right? This says, she retired from her successful but stinky gig after she passed gas one too many times and got the wind knocked out of her. Like, that's what happens, I guess. She feared she had symptoms of a stroke or a heart attack and had a friend take her to the hospital. She learned her issues were related to her diet of beans and eggs to increase her farts. I can't believe I'm doing a video on this. She says, quote, I could tell that something was not right that evening when I was lying in bed and I could feel a pressure in my stomach moving upward. It was quite hard to breathe, and every time I tried to breathe in, I'd feel a pinching sensation around my heart. It was made clear that what I was experiencing was not a stroke or heart attack, but very intense gas pains. You know, this is what happens when you don't have enough notoriety, you don't have enough attention, and you just want more and more and more. I guess, hey, she's got to make side money somehow, because being on a TV show, she's not making enough. She sold each jar for $100. Now, I could understand if this gas was, it could be tapped in as an energy source to help the climate or run vehicles or some kind of machinery. Like, that makes sense. Even though it's still a little expensive for $100 a jar, and I'm assuming these weren't like mason jars, they were probably like jars like that. But it says at the time of her alleged retirement, meaning she could come back. You don't know. She walked away with, get this, almost $200,000 worth of money from this. I'm not into fetish stuff. I find most of it incredibly weird. I guess I'm just more of a simple man. But it got me thinking, $200,000 to sell her own gas in some kind of jar, that's some pretty good money. So I was like, I wonder if a normal day person could do such a thing and make money? I don't think they could. A normal person isn't famous, so they don't have that that background, that excitement of tooting into a jar and putting their name on it and sending it away to some, I gotta be careful, to some person who is a connoisseur of this type of thing. So I don't think a normal person has that much star power, star attraction to start doing this. But you never know. I mean, with the explosion of OnlyFans and the explosion of Gwyneth Paltrow's special scented candle, you never know. So now it's so weird, and it seems to me like the only way you can really make money at this type of thing is if it's a fetish of some sort, something weird, something set aside, something different. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I capitalize on this? How do I'm not going to stoop to that level, but what could I do to make money so easily? And I don't know, because every idea I come up with is just too weird, too bizarre. So I guess I said this whole thing, read this whole thing, just because I found it really funny, really interesting, and it got me thinking about things. And I just was wondering, have you as a viewer ever come across an article that is just so bizarre, and you started reading it, and the further and further you got into this, the more it was hilarious, but the more weird it got, and then it sparked your imagination of, how could I make money doing something weird? If you came up with something, let me know. Maybe we can collaborate together. I don't know. So leave a comment below if you have ever come up with an idea. Leave a comment below on whether or not you've come across, what's the weirdest thing you've come across as far as a news article that really stood out to you? I'd appreciate it if you liked my video. If you'd subscribe, that'd be awesome. And thanks for watching. I hope you see me in another video or another episode of Have You Ever. Thanks for watching. I'm Aaron, and goodbye.